Steve here, and I apologize for the swelling in my face. I've got a little bit of lymphatic drainage going on from some tooth tooth opportunities. So we're going to set up a field, and so we're going to state out loud, if you feel like it. I choose to connect to my deep self. I connect to my higher self. I connect to my highest self. I ground myself to the healing center of the earth. I open the healing power of the One. And I let go of anything not useful to me now. And if you choose to work with the seventh dimensional beings, the Hathors, you can state, I choose to work with the Hathors. And I ask that we be placed in a field of protection while we do this work. And I ask the higher self to take us through the portal of time to the event that would be of the highest good to release and integrate at this time. And I invite all souls affected by this event to return to the event, release and integrate the energy of the event for themselves, and ask that they be placed in a field of protection while they do their work. Upon arrival at the event, I ask the higher self to assist us to release and integrate all energies of the event, gently and easily, fully and completely, on all levels and through all space and time. Okay, so that's the healing field. It's set up. If you're just here for the healing field, you can hit the pause button, come back later, and do the closing portion of the healing field. So I've got 3 cards for us today. So it's kind of a past, present, future card, but it's like what we've been working with, maybe still working with these energies, what we're working with currently, and what we're moving towards. So what we've been working with is the Four of Cups, and we've been working with just the structure of our life, like how to organize when the world's in such chaos, and how to progress forward, even where are we going, and what are our foundations, and how do we gain stability. So that's been the work we've been doing. And Four of Cups, the cups is about water, it's about emotions, it's about our connections, our love, our intimacy, our community intuition, and it's associated with the heart. And the key words are retreat, boredom, isolation, emotional walls, selfishness, disappointment, and introspection. So it's about finding strong community and powerful ties, but in the words in the book, it says, yet the bloom has gone off the rose somewhat. And we find ourselves bored, withdrawn, closed off. Everything exhausts us, annoys us, but rather than investing more deeply in the people that we found, this community, we feel resentful of them, wishing they would make more of an effort, yet being frustrated when they do. This internal tension, this desire to isolate, is the disappointed, unsatisfied energy of the Four of Cups. And I'm just going to read a little bit more from this. Boundaries are not a bad thing. There are times when we must protect ourselves, when we feel the need for limits or rules around how much of our hearts other people have access to. This is particularly true if we are someone who has endured abuse or trauma. Putting walls up around our emotions can feel necessary for emotional security and safety. 4 is the number of protection, safeguarding, stability, and sturdy, reliable foundations. And with the Suit of Cups, we often find this manifest as relational discipline. And I feel like I can say we've all been working with that. So that is the 4 of Cups. And then what we're working with currently, so we may still be working with the 4 of Cups. We're in this process, but what we're working with currently is the 10 of Cups. So again, we're working with emotions again. And the 10 of Cups is about satiety or satiation or having enough. And so the number 10, is about unity. It's about vision, pride, independence, and community. It's about the interaction between community and also our independence within community. Trailblazing and confidence. Key words are reciprocal energy, satisfaction, rich community, flow, deep love, collective healing, and pleasure. So that's what we're working with currently. So the lingering dreams that we've had are all coming true. For some people, the lingering nightmares. But for other people, the lingering dreams of future that they could perceive that worked for everyone, for those, it appears to be coming true. And we're having a life of rich harmony, deep joy, powerful connection. Energy flows among us and our loved ones with the ease and gentleness of water. And we are inspired, supported, encouraged, and challenged in all of the best ways. Hope fills our hearts, and we feel intensely satisfied in the lives that we have, the love that overflows. This feeling of euphoria, this luxurious and powerful contentment is the magic of the 10 of Cups. If you haven't been feeling that, that's fine too. You and I could be more still in the 4 of Cups, like, whoa, back off, I'm working with stuff right now. But what started as a rich sense of rich potential, the awareness that an emotional journey was just begun, has blossomed into a powerful sense of community, an endless outpouring of love, support, encouragement, joy, and warmth. We have built relationships that feel essential, have found people that we trust with our secrets, and whose histories and vulnerabilities and desires we want to hold. And have created a chosen family that shares energy equally and openly. We have learned to love ourselves deeply, to celebrate our triumphs, and if this isn't true for you, let it be a signal that it might end up being true for you. There was a bumper sticker that I loved, 2 bumper stickers that I loved. One said, "It's never too late to have a happy childhood." I thought that was excellent. And then another one that a bumper sticker a friend of mine took when they were in Florida, and the bumper sticker said, "Just another shitty day in paradise." So those are my 2 mantras. It's just another shitty day in paradise, and it's never too late to have a happy childhood. We have created a chosen family that shares energy equally and openly. We have learned to love ourselves deeply, to celebrate our triumphs and grieve our sorrows, to share our experiences with those we love, and to hold treasured memories close. The 10 of Cups is a card of open emotion, a satisfying and ongoing exchange of energy between ourselves and those we love. And I have been having that more and more. So what is this leading to? And for kind of what's coming and what to possibly look for and find is the 18, Major Arcana 18, which is the Moon card. And the Moon card is related to Pisces, so it's related to our beliefs, our dreams, the subconscious, unconscious, spirituality, and collectives, what's going on in the bigger world. And it's a 9, which is about observing, noticing personal responsibility, noticing the collective growth, the expansion, and the coming clarity, the clarity we're beginning to see more in the world. Some people like it, some people don't, but it does seem to be getting more clear on some levels for some people, like the bunny. So the key words of the moon are strange wisdom, uncertainty, exploration, internal shadows, confrontation. And to confront means to face directly, front with front. Confrontation is not polarity or polarization. Confrontation is being with someone about something in direct communication. That's confrontation. That's what the word means. Doesn't mean we're calling the other person an asshole, although I guess it's possible that some people would do that. It's about dreams, illusion, embracing our inner wildness, cycles, growth and discovery, exploration, introspection, reflection, surrender, instinct, ferocity, freedom from convention, and distance. These are not times to spend a lot of time complaining about how things are. I mean, I do it, especially at the grocery store. But it's not a time to spend too much time complaining about how things are, but really envision the world that we are choosing by our actions. A brief story, I've become good friends with the produce manager in the grocery store I go into because the guy's always smiling. And I'm always giving him a hard time about, I call him Smiley. and yesterday I had a conversation. I said, you're setting the bar really high for the rest of us. And he goes, I can't help it. I'm happy all the time. And he said, there doesn't really seem to be anything I can do about it. I try to tone it down sometimes, but it just won't stay down. I just am a happy person, and I really like people. And I said, yeah, that's setting the bar up there. I said, I like that you're doing it. And I said, and I'm with you on it. I'm with you on this. I said, I'm with bringing the vibe up. And I said, and you're setting a high vibe, that's useful to me. We've rediscovered, this goes back to the book, we've rediscovered ourselves. We've reclaimed our future. And now move forward, eager to pursue those remembered dreams. What did we want? But as we slip into the shadows, the shadow work, our newfound starlight grows dim. Even if we know where we want to end up, sometimes the path can grow murky, and we can get lost along the way. So this is talking about where we're going to. So feeling lost, feeling, doing the shadow work, things being a little murky. As the pale light of the moon strips the world of color and twists our grasp on reality, our most fantastical visions and deepest fears reveal themselves in the darkening shadows. We must rely on our intuition, our sense of wisdom and truth, to help us remember who we are, to keep us from getting too caught up in what ifs. The mind's perceptions become clouded by the heart's fears, and as emotions takes over, we stumble, consider, work overtime to see clearly, even as we crave surrender, even as we long to just run free. We have so few opportunities to completely succumb to our wildness, to go feral, to allow instinct to take over. And in giving ourselves permission to explore this untamed part of ourselves, in honoring our impulses and running barefoot through the forest and screaming at the sky, we make fierceness a part of our natural cycle. We acknowledge the need for release, fantasy, illumination. We recognize that tension and friction are not inherently bad things, and that discomfort can help us understand our own needs and desires with sharp new clarity. So I'd love to say that we've done the work, it's over, and now we get to just put it on cruise control, and we're just going to be riding this wave, towards the shore. And we may be riding the wave towards the shore. And there may be, for some of us, and I would say for me for sure, I can tell, work to be done. And I was hoping after this 28 years of cleansing that wouldn't be the case, that I did the 28 years of cleansing and now, gosh darn it, I'm in a higher dimensional zone. And I am in a higher dimensional zone, aware that there's still some things to be let go, things to be released, and a real willingness to come more into harmony and more into relationship with my community as we go through this evolution of change, as we assist others who are struggling with their unresolved traumatic energies to find an easier, gentler way to release those energies and find the safety, and for us to help create that feeling of safety, but the reality of safety that we're in, we can then transmit to others that I am safe and I am here with you, and you can work with this and know that you will be held in working with these energies in safety. So last night in the dream world, I found myself getting schooled. Now this occurs a lot for me. I've been going to these night schools for over 15 years. I'm in the dream world and I'm in a class and they're teaching me things about healing and change and all that. But last night's class was really useful because it was showing me in the dream, so it was lucid, I was sort of awake in the dream, but it was showing me the places that I had emotional stuff stored. So one of the places was here. Not surprising, I was having a little bit of this lymphatic drainage going on. But they showed me in the dream world various locations where there was energy stored. So let's just work. If you notice there's a little bit of energy stuck underneath your jaw, and you don't have to put your fingers underneath like this. I'm just doing that so I can kind of feel more of the energies. And if you want to, what they taught me in the dream world was letting go of these energies can be a lot easier than it's been in the past because the frequencies are higher. So you don't have to say what this is. And it can be different for each of us as we do this, or it may be similar. But the main three emotions that get stuck, held along with unresolved trauma, are fear, grief, and anger. So you can just say for you, what is this energy? You don't have to get into it. You don't have to get lost in it. You can just say, what is this energy? And it could be all three. And when you recognize a bit what this energy is, then you can just honor the age that you were when you felt these energies that got stuck. And you don't need to, but if you hear some words or see an image or any of that, that's fine. When these energies got stuck, it could have been in the womb, it could have been in infancy, it could have been in childhood, teenage years, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, could have been in your 70s, a trauma occurred recently. Whatever it is, just notice those energies, and by noticing them, we're giving them our attention, and we're giving them attention from a more mature place in ourselves. The part of ourselves that is not experiencing the trauma, but is experiencing the capacity to be present with the part of ourselves that had the traumatic experience. And then we can feel these energies, and then we can just let them go. And if you felt that happen, just go, wow, that was great. That was easy. That was really good. And if they keep coming out, that was because maybe there was a fair amount there. And then maybe you'll find this area is a popular spot, popular vacation spot for the emotional energies of trauma. They like to hang out there, right where you can notice them but not notice them at the same time. And then you just feel that energy that's there, and then you just realize it's just emotional energy, and I can release it. Yeah, well done. And then the last one I'm going to do is the base of the skull, so at the back of the head. And there's just this tightness that I feel there, and you might feel that tightness too. Just honor it as a part of you that felt like it needed to hold on to these energies, maybe to remember about how mean or cruel people can be at times. That's fine. It's okay, and it may be okay to release those energies now. Okay, that's just a little mini course in the release of emotional energies without struggle and strain and pain and sobbing and everything. If you're crying, that's okay. But that's a way to do it without that, because we're just releasing the stuck energies of our traumatic events, and we're just letting those energies come off the event. It's just another way to do it that I was taught early this morning. And I found it really useful after, 50, 55 years of doing healing work. Probably longer if you think of all the healing work you did in early childhood. But I started in group therapy at the age of 19, which was 55 years ago. Okay. So if you feel complete with the event we went back to, then you can do these words with me. If you don't feel quite complete, you can come back when you do feel complete with the energies of this event we went back to, release and integrate the energies of. So now I ask the higher self to assist all the souls that return to the event to combine with that part of their soul that had remained in the event, and bring that combined soul back into their body in present time with all of its wisdom, power, clarity, compassion, creativity, and kindness. I ask all the souls to ground themselves in the healing center of the earth with peace and joy. Bringing peace and joy into the healing center of the earth to ground themselves to the healing center of the earth. And I ask that all those souls open up the portal for the delivery of the new energies into the earth at this time. And I ask that these new energies be brought in now. And that they be activated. And I let the universe and beyond know that this has been done, and that is good. Okay. Boy, 25 minutes. I keep thinking I'm going to be making so much shorter videos, but I do have that one subscriber that keeps saying, could you make your videos a little longer? So I hope the sound is good. I hope this serves you well. And now let's go change in an easier way. Let's let go more gently and easily. It'll serve us all well, and it'll serve the world. And the easier and the more gentle that we can release these events, the more we can do, and the more we'll be interested in doing because it was easy. All right. Be well.